Greetings, Warriors faithful. If you're hungry for the latest Golden State scoop, go ahead and tap that like icon and subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report now, because tonight's revelation could redefine our championship window. Imagine this: a blockbuster whisper swirling around the Bay Area suggesting the Warriors might pursue a two-way dynamo from Boston, only to find out that the Celtic sharpshooter may not be coming west after all. Could it be true that Derek White, fresh off another stellar season in green, is off the market for Golden State? Hold on to that thought as we peel back the layers on this tantalizing rumor. It all began when league insiders buzzed about mutual interest between our front office and Boston's brass. Picture Warriors executives envisioning White's lockdown defense sliding seamlessly alongside Draymond Green, his crafty playmaking easing the load on Steph Curry's shoulders, and his clutch three-point stroke igniting a fresh spark in the backcourt. But every dream trade has its hurdles, and this one might just be reaching too high. Word on the street, courtesy of Clutch Points insider Brett Siegel, is that the Celtics view White as indispensable to their core, second only to their franchise pillars. If you're picturing White in royal blue and gold, those images may have to stay in your mind's highlight reel. Consider the stakes. Boston is staring down a gargantuan payroll, with luxury taxes ballooning beyond $460 million, and an ownership group itching to find financial relief. Derek's name naturally surfaced as a candidate to move in a dramatic, cost-saving trade, especially after his breakout campaign where he averaged north of 16 points, nearly 5 assists, and over a block per game, while dripping threes at close to 39%. From a Warriors perspective, he represents the perfect symbiosis: defensive tenacity to hound elite wings, ball-handling chops to relieve pressure on Curry's shoulders, and the kind of seasoned versatility that thrives in Steve Kerr's motion offense. Yet, despite all that appeal, Boston's front office has reportedly drawn a firm line in the sand. White isn't going anywhere. Why such resistance? Let's rewind to last season's Eastern Conference semifinals, where Derek White emerged as one of the X factors behind Boston's deep playoff run. His ability to guard multiple positions, run second-unit sets, and ice over pressure situations made him one of the league's most coveted complementary stars. Sources say that head coach Joe Mazzulla and GM Brad Stevens see White not as expendable, salary fodder, but as a foundational piece alongside Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. In fact, league whispers suggest that Boston would demand a haul of first-round picks, plus a young talent of significant promise, an offer that could make even the most daring Warriors package look modest by comparison. Now, let's talk practicality. For Golden State to even broach discussions, they'd need to juggle complex salary cap gymnastics. Jonathan Kuminga is a restricted free agent whose potential raise looms large. Moses Moody's recent extension cements him as a core rotation piece. Andrew Wiggins, while providing veteran depth, carries a contract that might be used as matching salary. Throw in a handful of unprotected future picks and perhaps a fringe starter, and you begin to see the contours of what a Warriors' best offer might look like. But will that be enough to sway Boston? According to the latest intelligence, the answer is a resounding probably not. Social media exploded when trade machine projections flashed potential Warriors-Celtics swaps. Fan forums on Reddit ran polls gauging interest, with many expressing both excitement and skepticism. Could a lineup featuring Curry, White, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Andrew Wiggins dominate as a defensive juggernaut while raining threes? The hypothetical starting five sounds like a defensive clinic. Derek's on-ball pressure and Draymond's help rotations would make life miserable for opposing guards. Yet fans also wondered, what happens to the youth movement? Do we surrender too much of our prized draft capital? Could losing prospects in this deal hamper Golden State's sustainable success in a post-dynasty era? Then there's the chemistry factor. Steve Kerr's genius has long been knitting together disparate talents into a cohesive unit, but integrating a high-usage guard like White midseason could throw off the Warriors' rhythm. Would Curry cede playmaking reins? Would Draymond revert entirely to interior defense? And how would Clay's catch-and-shoot role adapt when opposing teams' game plan to trap White on isolation plays? These are the questions that keep front office strategists up at night, balancing championship urgency against the proven system that delivered 3 titles in 4 years. Meanwhile, Boston's hierarchy is facing its own dilemma. Do they risk losing White for a haul that might include Kuminga and 2 firsts? Or do they hold firm, keeping chemistry intact while gambling that the luxury tax hit is worth the shot at another banner? Early indicators imply Boston will choose continuity, especially given that the cost of championship contention outweighs even the steepest tax penalties in today's NBA economy. And if the Celtics stay put, then Warriors fans may have to temper expectations of landing White this summer. But don't pack away your Warriors jersey just yet. Trade winds shift in a heartbeat, and injuries or late July salary moves could open new doors. Perhaps an unforeseen buyout or a multi-team sign and trade will reshape this narrative. For now, though, the consensus among insiders is clear. Derek White to Golden State remains unlikely. Instead, Warriors brass is reportedly refocusing on internal improvements, fine-tuning defensive schemes, exploring mid-level free agent wings, and preserving draft picks to keep the rebuild rolling if the worst-case blockbuster falls through. So there you have it, Dub Nation, the inside track on why a Warriors-Celtics Derek White swap feels more like a mirage than an imminent reality. The dream of adding his two-way prowess to our championship mix may have to wait. But, as any true fan knows, rumors swirl all summer, and nothing is ever truly off the table until the buzzer sounds on trade deadline day. Stay locked into Warriors News Fan Report for every twist and turn, and when the next seismic rumor drops, you'll be the first to know. Before we push this rumor further down the court, don't forget to crush that like button and subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report so you're always in on every twist and turn of our draft day drama. Now, Dub Nation, let's break down what happens next now that the Derek White dream has seemingly evaporated before our eyes. With Boston refusing to budge and labeling White untouchable, Golden State's front office must pivot quickly to salvage the offseason. Picture Rob and Mike in the war room, shuffling through draft boards, dialing up agents, and weighing every alternative. The immediate question becomes, if not White, then who? Could the Warriors chase a mid-level veteran wing instead, or double down on internal development by giving more minutes to Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody? We've seen both youngsters flash all-star potential, but do they possess the consistency to shoulder heavy playoff burdens? Meanwhile, whispers in the Bay Area hint at a potential sign and trade involving a forgotten veteran or two who could bolster depth without mortgaging the future. As the rumor mill shifts gears, let's consider the ripple effect across the league. With Boston holding firm, teams like the Lakers and Suns might swoop in next, eyeing their own swaps for high-caliber role players. And don't forget the mid-tier. Franchises, Minnesota, Dallas, even Miami, circling like sharks, hoping a misstep leaves a juicy target like White or another star up for grabs. For the Warriors, this could be a blessing in disguise. Less distraction over a lost cause, more focus on shoring up defensive schemes and unlocking untapped chemistry between the Splash Brothers and our emerging core. Imagine Draymond reclaiming his full-court wizardry without worrying about integrating a new ball-dominant guard, or Andre Iguodala returning to mentor the young wings and solidify our bench in clutch moments. On the financial front, with no blockbuster trade draining cap space, Golden State maintains its long-term flexibility. That means they can pursue free agents with mid-level exceptions, sharpshooters, perimeter defenders, or even a seasoned playoff veteran who complements Curry's gravity and Thompson's catch-and-shoot prowess. Could this strategy mirror the Clay Plus additions approach that fueled our past championship runs? It certainly has precedent, Look back at how small splashes like Patrick McCaw and Kevin Looney became key cogs. Now, with draft picks intact, the Warriors could even consider packaging a future first to land a veteran specialist at July's moratorium, adding depth without sacrificing core continuity. Equally intriguing is how this white stalemate impacts Coach Steve Kerr's rotation. He cherishes versatility and defensive switching, so losing out on a two-way guard might compel him to retool his schemes. Expect more zone looks to mask perimeter gaps, larger small ball lineups with Poole or Moody sliding into primary backcourt roles, and renewed emphasis on Draymond's playmaking. Could this evolve into a hybrid offensive system that tackles modern spacing trends while preserving the Warriors' trademark movement? If so, we may witness a fresh identity emerge, one that thrives on unpredictability rather than star accumulation. Now, let's zoom out and ponder the ultimate goal. Another championship parade in Oakland or San Francisco, given the current geography. The road to the finals is paved with matchups against juggernauts who won't stand pat after witnessing Golden State's maneuvering. The Suns might already be plotting their counterstrike. The Lakers could regroup around LeBron's veterans, and the upstart Thunder are already fueling their own rebuild. With the Derek White Avenue closed, Golden State must seize momentum through shrewd planning, seamless development, and perhaps a surprise mid-season trade if an unanticipated opportunity arises. Remember, last season's hamstring injury to Curry exposed our lack of reliable secondary playmakers. Addressing that vulnerability should climb to the top of our to-do list. So, where does this leave us, Warriors faithful? We may have lost out on a prized two-way guard, but the essence of our team, unselfish play, unbreakable chemistry, and unwavering belief, remains intact. Rob and Mike have repeatedly proven their ability to pivot under pressure, and Steve Kerr's adaptability is second to none. Instead of dwelling on what might have been, we channel that energy into rallying around our core and embracing the next chapter of this dynasty pursuit. After all, true championship teams are defined not by missed targets, but by how they respond to adversity. But what do you think about all of this? Personally, I'm relieved we won't disrupt our rotation. Midsummer, yet I'm equally hungry for a move that addresses our backcourt depth. Could an under-the-radar free agent emerge as the stealth upgrade we need? Or will continuity and internal growth prove the secret sauce to our next title run? I can't wait to read your takes in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report, and ring the bell so you never miss a beat of our championship chase. Until next time, stay golden.